Awesome. Good morning, everyone. This is Emily. I'm off screen, but I am live at the Science Center, and you can see that I'm hanging out this morning with our lionfish. So we're going to talk a little bit about our lionfish and lionfish in general this morning, and we'll also cover some ideas about invasive species and what that means. Before we get going, Peter's going to give you a little Zoom intro like we usually do at the beginning of our live session. So go ahead, Peter. Awesome. Thank you, Peter. So once again, I am here with our lionfish at the Science Center. In just a moment, we're going to feed them, but I want to tell you a little bit about them first. Lionfish are really popular aquarium animals. So lots and lots of people keep them in aquariums in the United States and all over the world, but they're actually native to the Indo-Pacific region, which is the Southern Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean. So they don't originally come from anywhere around here. Now, lionfish have been introduced into the Atlantic Ocean, so along the eastern coast of the US and Mexico, and they have sort of taken over in those ecosystems and habitats. Lionfish have sort of a perfect recipe to become what we call invasive species. So they're really voracious predators. They're ferocious, they eat a lot, and they are good at trapping their prey. They actively hunt lots and lots of species of very small fish and crabs and shrimp, and they're really active predators. So what they do is they go after their food and they like to corner it, and then they have all these spines that they can spread out to trap their prey, and lots of little teeth to grip onto it and then gulp it down. So I'm going to feed them right now so you get an idea of what we're talking about. You'll see they get really excited when I come close with some food. Our lionfish are well trained to know when it's meal time. They're going to follow this as I hold it outside the glass. They're almost like dogs begging for food. And I'm going to do my best to make sure each individual lionfish gets their meal. So, did you guys catch that? Happens really quick. We'll feed the other one. Try to get it a little lower down so you can see better. So I'm trying to feed the one I didn't get before. Here we go. We're going to entice it over into the frame, or maybe I'll just move my camera, and we're gulped down. So you can see how quickly and aggressively they eat their food. So they're really good, they're really strong hunters, and they don't have a lot of natural predators in the reefs and coastal ecosystems of the Atlantic Ocean. Since they're not from there, nothing has really developed an ability to eat them. It's especially hard to eat lionfish because they have venomous spines that release toxins into anything that bites down. So lionfish, you can actually be stung by a lionfish. Was that a question?
I think it was just some folks unmuting themselves by accident.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So you can be stung by lionfish. They're hard to eat, although people do eat them sometimes, but mostly in the regions where they are from originally. And they reproduce really quickly, meaning they have lots and lots of babies. So that's the perfect recipe for an invasive species, a species that takes over a non-native habitat and has a harmful impact on it. Not all species that come from different parts of the world are invasive. There are some non-native species that don't reproduce as quickly, that have some predators, or don't make a lasting environmental and economic impact on the systems where they end up. But lionfish are certainly an issue. They can grow to be much bigger than these guys, about 17 inches long, so that's almost 1.5 feet. If you have a chance to measure that out at home, I suggest you do. They're surprisingly large. And scientists aren't really sure what to do about getting rid of lionfish and the invasive aspect of them. It's a little bit harder to control marine species and the spread of marine species. It's thought that these guys were introduced to the Atlantic through the pet and aquarium trade. So people buying lionfish and then releasing them into the ocean when they didn't want to or couldn't care for them anymore. They may also have hitched a ride in ballast water on boats. So that's another way that marine species are spread around the globe. So humans do assist in introducing invasive species into their new and vulnerable habitats. So scientists are always trying to monitor the spread of invasive species, and you guys can actually help with that from your own homes using citizen science. So I'm gonna have my friend Peter post a link to an active project that is documenting species in shallow ocean water. You can read more about the project at this link, but you have a chance to get in there and do some real science and help scientists collect data about the spread of invasive species and their effects on ecological communities. So check that out if you get a chance. Does anyone have questions about our lionfish or invasive species in general? Try to get you a closer up view.
Rylan, do you have your hand up? You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
What did it eat?
So
That's a great question. What do they eat was the question?
Yeah, I think so.
So lionfish eat smaller fish. They eat shrimp. They eat crabs and things off the ocean floor. During the day, they often like to hang out in crevices and hide a little bit. And then people think that they're nocturnal hunters, meaning that they come out towards nightfall in order to do their hunting. But lionfish have been found with full stomachs in the daytime, so it's not a totally cut and dry divide there. Today I fed them some of our lionfish food here at the Science Center, which has lots of added nutrients and vitamins in addition to ground up fish and things like that.
Philip, did you have a question too?
Yeah, how did it get there?
How did they get here to the Science Center?
Yeah.
Is that the question? Yeah, so we got these lionfish from some contacts in the aquarium industry. So like I said, these are really popular aquarium fish, and so there are lots of folks who sell them and help them get set up in display habitats or home habitats. So that's what we did. You can see them, they're pretty cool looking fish. Notice all that coloring. This can help them blend in a reef environment or hiding under ledges, because if you think about the way that light and shadows happen in the ocean, they're good at hiding in that. Any other questions or comments this morning? All right. Sounds like we will wrap it up a little bit then. I encourage you all to check out that citizen science link. If you go to zooniverse.com or SciStarter, you can find lots of different citizen science projects that are looking for help right now. And that's a great way to engage with the scientific community from home. So this is the Lionfish and I signing off. Thank you all so much for coming.
Thank
and
you.
we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to be joined by some folks from Cornell, and they're going to be helping us run an activity where we look at rainbows, and we might be able to make some rainbows in our homes too. So definitely check out our Facebook page where we have a calendar, and we'll include all of the materials that you'll want to collect for tomorrow's activity. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.